Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Uncultured Pearls. This is where I talk about knitting, crochet, diamond painting, and anything else craft related that I feel like doing. My name is Lucy, and today is Sunday, October 22nd. It happens to be my niece's birthday, so happy birthday, Ginny. She turned 4. But aside from today being a special day in that respect, it is also a special day because it is time for an update on my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along Geogradient. So I thought I would sit down with you guys. I have poured myself a cup of kombucha, which I'm a fan of. They say it has lots of health benefits. I'm not sure about that, but I just drink it because I think it's tasty. So I hope you all have some refreshment that you're into, or maybe you're working on your MKAL right now as you watch this. That's what I always do when I watch other people's knitting podcasts or updates. 90% of the time I'm also knitting. So hope that's what you're doing, and let's get into it. I am behind, I'll tell you that. Because Clue 3 has come out. That came out on Thursday. I have not started Clue 3. Where was I last time? Had I finished Clue 2 last time? I mean Clue 1? I don't think I did. I was just working on Clue 1. So we've got some progress, but I am definitely still embracing my own pace, and I mean, I'm knitting basically every chance that I get, but you know, life goes on, so I have to go to work, I have exercising to do. I've signed up for this 10-mile race next weekend. I'm not the world's greatest runner, but I do run, and I figure might help me live longer since knitting is a very sedentary hobby. I thought I'd pick up running too, so I've had to be training for this race, and anyway, lots of things have prevented me from cranking this thing out as fast as I would like to do, but that's okay. It's about the journey and not necessarily the destination. But anyway, I will show you my progress. So if you are trying to avoid spoilers, like say you're still on Clue 1 and you want Clue 2 to still be a surprise, then you know, maybe just listen to this and don't look at the screen, or hold off on this video until you're done with Clue 2, because I'm about to show you my progress thus far, and I am almost done with Clue 2. I haven't even finished Clue 2 yet, but okay, here we go. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Here is my progress thus far. So here's my working needle still on this side. So I've completed the first half of Clue 2. Well, let me start at the beginning. Clue 1 is done. So Clue 1 is all of this, and I just did the very standard what's in the pattern exactly with Clue 1. I didn't end up switching up any of the colors. I just did what it calls for in the pattern. And then same with Clue 2. And I think some people change the colors here so that it doesn't repeat A and B again. Because like you end Clue 1 with color A, or sorry, color B. Here's the last round of Clue 1. And then he has you start again with A and B in Clue 2. I think some people decided to swap out C and D for this and then just continue in the ABCD pattern. I didn't do that. I just did what it said in the pattern, and I think it looks good. I kind of like having a little break in the color right here so that you can kind of visually see that the pattern is changing, and I kind of like that. But this side is totally done. I have it on waste yarn at the end, the live stitches, and now I'm on the second side of Clue 2, and I'm almost done. So you're supposed to have 6 rows of the eyelet part, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 finished. So 2 more repeats of the eyelets with the reverse stockinette in between. But I wanted to film this before it got too late, so I wasn't able to finish, but I'm hoping after I finish filming, I will be able to finish this part tonight. And I really haven't done any modifications. I have not been doing the Weave in Stephen really for any of it. And so I used it on my swatch, which I'll grab. My original Clue 1 swatch, I was doing the Weave in Stephen. You can kind of see it right there and right there. And it works. I mean, it seems like they are pretty securely in there, but you definitely can see it. Like when you look at the wrong side, you can see it. And I watched some other people's videos about it, and they're saying it kind of distorts some of the stitches on the right side, which I think is kind of true. Like, you can't really pick up on it on camera that much, but like right here, these stitches seem bigger than some of the other ones. And so I didn't really want to do this quote unquote shortcut if it resulted in a less nice looking finished product. And then also, I'm not entirely convinced that it's a shortcut, because as you're doing it, your stitches are much slower, at least with me, because I'm a continental knitter, so I'm just like, you know, picking or whatever. I hold the yarn in my left hand and I'm just like quickly grabbing it and pulling it through with the right hand needle. And so to do the Weave in Stephen, it was just a lot of like extra motion with my right hand, which resulted in the first like 10 to 15 stitches as I'm doing it of each row where you switch colors to be very slow compared to the rest. And so I did it in my swatch, but I wasn't totally convinced that it was the way to go. And so when I started the new Clue 1, I decided not to do that. And I found someone's video on this, and I probably will never find it again. I should have saved the video so that I could link it. But it was another woman doing the MKAL, and she didn't like the look of the Weave in Stephen either. So she was just catching her yarn as if catching floats in color work. And so that's what I ended up doing on my new Clue 1 version. And I mean, if you don't know how to do that, you can probably Google it, and you would probably find, well, not Google, search it on YouTube. And you can probably find this woman's video where she demonstrates exactly how to do it. And I had done color work before a couple times. I'm definitely not an expert at color work, but I had enough experience that I kind of sort of remembered how to do that. So that is what I ended up doing for Clue 1. And I don't know if I can even show you super well. I have not cut the extra ends yet. I think I'm gonna do that after I block it, because I feel like maybe that helps secure everything before you snip it. But like, it's slightly nicer than the Weave in Stephen. Like, you can still see it. Yeah, like here and here and here. These are all doing the catch it as if it was a colorwork float method. It seems okay. It maybe is not as secure seaming as I would like, because they're a little far away. Like, each time you catch it, or at least the way I was doing it, was knit one regular and then knit one, catch the float. Knit one regular, catch the float. So it was every other stitch that I was catching it, which results in some space between each time on the back of the work. So I just feel like there's potential for the end to kind of wiggle its way out with those spaces. I think it'll be fine, especially once it's blocked, and things will kind of like, hopefully not felt, but just like a little tiny bit of felting so that everything sticks together nicely. I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen. But the catching float method also is not super quick as you're knitting. At least with me, it's a lot of, wrapping and making sure, you wrap and then you unwrap each time. And I don't know, it was okay. It does mean that you don't have to weave them in at the end of the project, but I wasn't entirely convinced it was worth it. So when I moved on to Clue 2, I decided to just not weave in as I went. So I just left all the ends hanging there, and like right here is the side that I completed first. Let me drop that. So these were all hanging across the edge right here, and then I just weaved them in at the end. And I didn't time myself, but I did it while I was watching One Tree Hill. Yes, it's embarrassing. I'm way behind the times, but really I don't watch pop culture stuff until it's obscenely too late. So One Tree Hill came out in like 2003. I just needed to wait 20 years first. It's one of those like drama-filled high school teenagers being angsty type of shows. But I like to just have something on when I'm knitting that it doesn't impact the show too much if I don't pay attention for a few seconds. Like if I'm switching colors or whatever, I'm still not gonna know what's going on in One Tree Hill because it is not like complicated drama and special effects and everything. It's just high schoolers being catty to each other. Anyway, I have digressed. I would say it took me maybe only less than one episode of One Tree Hill to weave all these in. And, once you skip the little recap thing at the beginning, it's probably only less than a 40-minute show. And so it took me, I would say maybe 30 minutes to weave in all the ends on this side of section 2. And then I'm doing it the same way on the other side so far. So here are all my ends, and at the end I'm just gonna weave them in. But I think they look pretty secure, the ones that I wove in, because I do just like a simple whip stitch or whatever it's called, but I go through each and every stitch so that each is close together. So I don't even know if you could see it, but like this, my color C right here, this kind of brown, I wove in a whole bunch of times. And who knows, I feel like there's no surefire way to weave your ends in that's gonna absolutely guarantee that they will be like safe forever, but people have been whip stitching their ends in for centuries, most likely, and it seems tried and true, and it's really not that much time at the end of the project that you have to spend doing it. And I'm just gonna do it section by section. So like, I'm not gonna leave them all for the end, because then it would probably be 3 or 4 hours of weaving in ends, and I can't deal with that in my life. But, you know, 20-30 minutes at the end of each section is not that bad. So that is my plan. I have watched the video for clue 3, and I'm gonna talk about it for a bit now. So if you don't want a spoiler as to clue 3, then maybe hold off on this part of the video, though I'm not going to show anything, I'm just going to talk about it. I think it looks cool. I do see a potential for getting a little annoyed. We're gonna have to see how it goes. There's a lot of those slip stitches, and I was kind of surprised because I didn't think it was gonna look good at the beginning of the video as he was demonstrating. I was like, this is weird. It looks kind of like it's the wrong side of the work. Like, why are all these slip stitches out there? Like, I don't know. But I think you have to be patient and see the different color changes and the zigzag effect once you get, like, you know, I'm not describing this very well, but once you can see the full pattern. You know, just seeing one color doesn't really show what it's gonna ultimately look like. So you have to wait until you get enough stripes that you can really tell what it's gonna look like. And once he got to that point in the video, I did think it looked cool. So I'm excited to get onto that part. And the other thing I like about it is that you are getting shorter and shorter because it's kind of the wingtip section. So you're starting out with, I don't know how many stitches, like 80, 85-ish, but you're doing decreases, so it's getting shorter and shorter, and that means it's gonna move faster and faster as you go. And I love projects like that because your momentum is just like increasing, as opposed to a shawl where you start in the middle, say with a little garter tab cast on or whatever, and you're building out the shawl like this, kind of like a rainbow, so that it's a huge half circle. Those are brutal because by the time you get to the end of the project, you're so excited to finally be done, but you have like 700 stitches on the needles, and each row takes sometimes 45 minutes, and you're just so ready to be done. So I'm glad that this next section should feel like it goes by pretty quick, even if it's not. And yeah, I think it looks like a lot of fun. Definitely not something that I've ever done anything similar to, using slip stitches like that to make kind of a float ladder thing. Very inventive on Stephen's part, but that's the way he is, right? That's why we do the MKAL. We want to see new and creative stuff, and he does not disappoint. I have no idea where he's going for clue 4. I'm very excited to see that. I would guess it's gonna build out the rest of the shawl. So like, I mean, can't even really show you, but like if the wingtips are going up where my hands are, I would guess it's gonna kind of fill in this part and this part, maybe? I don't know. Full speculation, and Stephen also tends to like, I don't know, subvert your expectations. Is that the phrase I'm looking for? Like, he manages to do something unexpected, even if you think you know where it's going. He comes up with something that is a little different and puts his own spin on whatever you thought he might be thinking. So anyway, that is where I'm at. That is my progress. I would love to hear from you guys about your progress. If any of you are doing the MKAL, are any of you actually on pace? Like, did you start Clue 3 when it dropped on Thursday? If so, I'm highly impressed. I will applaud you. But are any of you also in my boat and not quite keeping up? That's fine too. We all do this for fun and enjoyment and to eventually get a wonderful finished product, but good things come to those who wait, I guess. So we will get there. And also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do consider doing that. I had a bunch of people subscribe after my video last time. So thank you, and if you are one of those new subscribers, welcome, and thank you for coming back. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, think about that, because it's totally free, but just it helps me out and helps more people join my knitting community, which I like a lot, since none of my family knits and none of my friends knit really. So I am grateful to have you all to talk to about knitting and would love to hear from you in the comments. So thank you so much. Hope you are enjoying this fall weather that is coming in, and hope you have some great things planned in terms of your knitting. Maybe you're not doing the MKAL, but you have some other ideas coming up for fall and winter knitting. I would love to hear about that in the comments too. And hope you all have a fabulous week. I will post again when I've made some progress on Clue 3. So I will see you then. Bye everyone.